What is up? We are over in the Longmont area. Right behind me is Main Street, the little cool town, the little brother of Denver. Actually, a lot of people that want to live in the Boulder area actually come out here for the affordability and the small town vibes of it. So not too far away from here is one of my favorite donut shops, I'd say in the entirety of the greater Denver area. Landline Donuts. I love the potato donuts that they have. And just right in front of me over here is the Opera, the Dickens Opera. And so many other cool boutique shops and restaurants and cafes and all that good stuff is right here on Main Street. So I'm going to teach you all everything about it. And I'm going to introduce one of my buddies, Dan Ginther here, who's also a real estate agent up in the Longmont area. And he'll know a lot more about this area than myself. So we're going to divide and conquer and join forces at the end and show you everything that Longmont has to offer. We're in Landline Donuts. Like I mentioned earlier, it's probably my best or favorite donut shop in the greater Denver area. I got an apple fritter. Dan here already demolished his chocolate donuts. It's 33% potato based, which I thought was super interesting when I first heard about it, but it's a little bit healthier for you and it just has a longer shelf life. So if you want to take a whole dozen home and it's a long drive or something like that, it just lasts a little bit longer and it still has that fresh taste to it. So with that being said, the whole decoration and the decorum here are awesome. I mean, Landline Donuts, you got landlines on the walls, you got neon lights, the Christmas decorations up, and you got the little plants too and everything set up. So that being said, let's go take a look around the place and then we'll move on to the next place after I finish my apple fritter. Oh, good. Long. And now on the south side of Main Street of Longmont, you go into the cheese importers La Fromagerie. Hopefully I don't butcher that in French. But I did come out of it with a chocolate, 72% cacao, but inside is amazing. You got all these cool little knickknacks, aprons, knives, cheeses, the olives and everything in between, the wines and everything that's complementary to charcuterie boards, cheeses, nuts, all that good stuff. Awesome place. Because as I was going through, it was all like super magical. It almost felt like European. It felt very crafty and like had a high craftsman workmanship behind it. So all of that, we were talking to one of the employees here and I wanted to get him on camera, but he was saying, nah, they run a tight ship here. But the main thing here that I thought was really interesting that he pointed out was that this used to operate as a diesel power plant. And this place, Cheese Emporium or Cheese Importers, won an award for the best reuse or best conversion of a building like in the state in Colorado. So going from a diesel power plant into a 2,700 rated 4.7 stars Cheese Emporium is quite the feat. So go check it out if you're ever in Longmont. It's Dan's first time here and he had quite the story and pleasure to go inside. So go check it out for yourself. Welcome to McIntosh Lake. It is beautiful here. It's a little pristine. It's a little bit chilly. You can actually see some ice like starting to form over on the side of the lake. It's a beautiful place. A lot of dogs are being walked here, a lot of geese here. So it almost feels natural and just part of the civilization that is here in Longmont. We're in the northwest part of it. A couple of hospitals nearby. There's 3 major ones, I believe, in Longmont. And Dan will be helping you in discovering what Longmont is, the culture behind it, and what it's like, especially with these home prices on the lake versus anywhere in the neighborhood. It's a lovely spot. So Long's Peak is over there in the background. It is beautiful. You'll probably see a drone shot of it pretty soon. Median home price right now in the Longmont area is about $575,000. Then you're looking at the median home build is about $1995. So they're fairly recent and it will depend on what the new builds are like and how many new builds there are or have been. With that being said, like builds or like the bedrooms, baths are 3 and 3. Square footage is about 2,500, and all this might not make sense to you or might not be important to you right now. But at the same time, it's always a changing market, and it's just important to know what the neighborhood is like and what things are being built or how they're being built and what the stats are behind it. So with that being said, I'm going to pass it over to Dan because I feel like he's been living here. Well, I know he's been living here a lot longer than I have. And he knows the culture behind it and knows what there is to do around Longmont. So Dan, take it away, man.
What's up, guys? This is Dan Ginther here, Longmont, Colorado. I'm a real estate investor, agent here. I help people connect and do all kinds of stuff here in the real estate world. Lived in Longmont 3 years now. This is kind of where I made my bread and butter, and this is where I started my business. So we're going to talk a little bit about Longmont and what we have to offer here. Why do people move to Longmont? This is something that we were talking about today. Well, honestly, there's a lot of reasons why people would come to Longmont. If you are looking to Boulder community or you want to get outside of Denver and just be a little bit outside of the space, you can tell here, we're actually in the country. I'm from Minnesota. This is kind of closest to home that I could get in Colorado, but not quite there yet. You got hiking, you got fishing right here, literally on the lake. We got disc golf, we got stuff to go here in Longmont. This is the key right here. We're close to the Rocky Mountain National Park. This is the gateway. This is literally known as the gateway to the Rocky Mountain National Park. If you take Highway 66 right here or Highway 36 up here coming from Boulder, you're 20 minutes from Rocky Mountain National Park, Estes Park, in the area up there. This is the gateway to get into the Rocky Mountain National Park. So this is kind of the spot. This is the last spot you can stop if you want to get all your supplies and things that you need. We got Costco, we got Walmart's, we got all this stuff here. So this is a spot where you want to come, this is kind of like it's the last stop before you're getting up into the actual mountains. As soon as you get up there, you're losing everything. So this is the place where you want to, connect and possibly be before you get up there. Through the summer, we do have a farmer's market here. It's running right on the fairgrounds, just down by Home Depot off of Hover Street. You have like 200 to 300 different vendors coming through in this area. And there's also like people selling crafts, arts, and you got organic goods because there's lots of organic farms just across the way over here that bring their produce in, and it's a reason for people to get together, and it's a good community.
So now you got a good idea of what Longmont has to offer. I mean, some really cool shops, boutique shops, mom and pop shops, and just everything in between. I mean, even the cheese import location. I mean, there's so many more stores just like that, and the McIntosh Lake, the easy access to Rocky Mountain National Park, and the housing here is a lot more affordable than over in Boulder. If you want to have that access to the mountains, but not necessarily have to pay the price like in Boulder, because you're looking at like $900K to $1 million at median home price over in the Boulder area. And Longmont being in the Boulder County area, a lot of the people that can't afford it over in Boulder still enjoy the scene of Longmont, especially if they want that small town feel. And speaking of small town, you got to go check out the one and only Oskar Blues, which I just had a excellent burger over here, the OB burger with sweet potato fries. I never miss a chance to substitute that regular fries with sweet potato fries. So with all that being said, just wanted to wrap this up and say thanks. Thanks for hanging out and enjoying Longmont with me. And this is only my second or maybe even third time here. And my buddy Dan here has been living here for a couple of years, and he is the guy to go to. So hit me up. All my contact information is down below in the description, and I will guide you over to Dan to, answer any questions that you have in regards to Longmont and get you to the right house at the same time. I just want to make sure you're in good hands. And if that means that, you might not work with me directly, we'll tag team it and make sure we have a great partnership with you specifically. So with that being said, thanks so much for hanging out, guys. If you need anything else, I'll be here next week. Thanks so much for watching.